there's a yisaid in Yiddishkeit that comes out in many places. It's Chazal. There's an open Chazal like this, and the yisaid in Yiddishkeit is believing in something gives it power. That's the yisaid. It's a truth. This rears its. I don't want to say it's ugly. It's a beautiful yisaid. I promise this yisaid is true. Believing in something gives it power. A friend of mine asked the stipler about a certain Rebbe that he seems to be doing miracles, and the stipler said people believe in him. Like it was like Pashatim. People believe in it. A friend told me, his type said people believe in him. People are confident in him. Belief in something gives it kaiches. That's how it works. By the way, it works with everything like that. Something's as strong as we believe in it, and as strong as we mark it and don't give it chashivos, so then it has the power according to how much we believe in it. Prayers that way, mitzvahs that way. There's a pasuk in Mishlei, if you want one source, Yeira'eh mitzvah hu yeshulam. Mitzvahs are mekadesh a person, they impact a person. Depends how much you take the mitzvah seriously. If you believe in the mitzvah, the Gurbana Shalom was mitzvah, the mitzvah's impact. A mitzvah impacts according to your belief in it. People work that way. Believe in them, and it unleashes a chashivas in them because you see it, because you understand it. It unleashes. The Barditchva would be Mekarev Yidden in Elul by the hundreds. What was his kayach? Because he saw Yidden, because he believed, because he knew that's a mitzius in the world, that understanding something, believing in something gives it kayches. That's how it works. I want to say, there were different tzaddikim in terms of giving brachas. People go to tzaddikim, and some mock giving brachas. And there's such a thing, the bracha of a tzaddik's a big deal. Klal Yisrael is not a stupid people, and we wait online for the brachas of tzaddikim. Then it becomes an asayin. The Chovos Halvava says it's a sin if somebody thinks higher of you than you really are. So if a person's coming to you to get a bracha of the tzaddik, and that's not how you view yourself, so there were different anhagas. What I want to say to the chevra is it's dvarim pshutim that every single year has the power of a bracha. We're going to get up. We're going to come Rosh Hashanah. It's early in the year. It's mamish at Aschala, and I love Rosh Hashanah night when we mivarech each other. L'shana tova, tekaseh v'sei chasem, la'alter, l'chaim tovim, l'shalom. We give brachas to each other. We give brachas to each other. I like the word la'alter very much right away because it's tzaddik is nechtav and nechtam on Rosh Hashanah. So I like the la'alter right away. Because on Rosh Hashanah we see Yidden as tzaddikim. So I like the word la'alter. But a Yid gets bench and we give brachas to each other every Friday night. The minig Yisrael is to bench our children. Yisimcha Elokim Kefra. It's a minig Yisrael. I can come from many places that we have the power of bracha. But a Yid has the kayak to mivarch. Reb Miller spoke about this a lot. He said the minig Yisrael, the anhaga, we say good Shabbos to each other. A good Shabbos is a bracha. Good Shabbos, good Yom Tov. It's a bracha. Your mamish being mivarch. We don't take seriously enough our own word and our own power that we really have the power to bench somebody real. It's one of the shocking things in this world that we have a lot of power. Prayer is mishaga. Prayer blows my mind. We really have power. We're in good hands. Hashem runs the world, but He wants us to assert. He wants us to pray. It's crazy. We say to Hashem, I want Him to have refuah shlema. Azvas. We're saying, the Rabbi Shalom, you brought us. What a kiddush shamayim. How many people are giving our kabbalas and prayers for tzvi? The kiddush shamayim naira, he wakes up. Just if we know tzvi, we want tzvi. Tzvi alein is the kiddush shamayim. The kiddush shamayim on top of kiddush shamayim. The kiddush shamayim that people love their friend and davened. Then the kiddush shamayim would be naira. Will be naira. His friends love him and care about him. He cares about them. They daven for him. The Kiddush Shemayim, the Rabbi Shalom, is smiling at us. The Kiddush Shemayim, Nifla. And we say that shall be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, you want me to say that. That's what I want to bring. You want me to bring that. And we have a lot to say. That's the truth of the world. The more we are ourselves, the more we have a belief in prayer. Reb Miller told somebody that if there's a lot of talking in the shul, don't daven in the shul even if you don't talk. And it seems to me that there's an Indian. So other people are talking. What does that have to do with me? The belief in prayer gives a koyach to prayer. If there's an atmosphere, people don't believe in prayer here, so then that lessens the koyach of the prayer. Things work, we believe in something, it gives it a koyach. That's how it works. That's how Hashem designed the world. Believe in something and it gives it a koyach. And we have much more power. That's a basic of Yiddishkeit, is the power. It expresses itself in prayer. It expresses itself in giving brachas to each other, that we have the koyach to really be mevarich. Now, if we don't respect that koyach ourselves, we could go through the motions. A tata says to his son, and gives a bracha to his son. He could give a bracha if he doesn't respect his koyach of bracha. So, of course, it diminishes that koyach. He didn't take it seriously, his own power of bracha. And of course that diminishes, but a Yid takes seriously as the power. He says Good Shabbos, he says Lashana Taifa. It has a tremendous power. What's your full Hebrew name? Menachem. Yechiel, you call the word Menachem is in there also. Your friends though, you could just call Yechiel, we call you. Menachem Yechiel. Ben? Alter Gittel. Get on the Tata's name? David. Yeah. It's a bracha is real. A Yid can be mevarich. I happen to we know him as Yechiel. I didn't know his name's Menachem Yechiel. You give a bracha, be mevarich the ganze mensch, the entirety of the person. Typically, you give a bracha to a person, you mevarich, his name is good. If you know his tata's name's good also. The mom is typically for refuah, but either way. But I wanna say that there's a koyach, a Yid has of a bracha. All Yidden have a koyach of a bracha. All Yidden. It says those that bench Avram get benched. Va'avarcha mivarchecha. You see, even a guy has a power of bracha. Why is Hashem benching people who bench Avram? Because a human being has a power of bracha. I'll tell you a little secret. Taisva says that I will bench whoever benches Avram. Taisva says if you bench Yid, you get benched. So it's also a good, healthy habit to bench people because you get benched. Taisva says, Va'avarcha mivarchecha applies to any Yid. Every Yid has a shtick of Avram in them. And if you bench a Yid, it's nichlal. Taisva paskins this way. He says, Kaihanim, they bench Klal Yisrael. How do you know they get brachas? So it's a machlokes Tanoim. One Tana says, Va'ani avarchem, is Hashem will bench the Kaihanim. But Rabbi Kiva says, Ani avarchem means the Kaihanim bench us, and so does God bench us. So ask Taisvis, so according to that Tana, where did the Kehanim get a bracha? The answer is Va'avarcha mivarchecha. If you bench a Yid, you get benched. If you bench a Yid, you get benched. And you didn't have the koyach of bracha. Many things that we subscribe to Kehanim. Kehanim, we know, they get up and they do birchas Kehanim, but we're called the mamleches Kehanim. We have the koyches. We're called the nation of Kehanim. It's true there's something unique. There's the koyach of a tzaddik, has a unique power of bracha for sure. A kohen has a unique power, but the entirety of our people has a power of bracha. And we express this. We say Good Shabbos, Good Yom Tov, we say Lashana Taiva, we bench our children Leil Shabbos. The minhag of old and Klal Yisrael was people benched each other. There's minhagim in Klal Yisrael, Yivarecha Hashem Leil Shabbos was said by all Yidden. There's such minhagim. So I wanted to express, Chevra, that we have a power of bracha, not to take it lightly. Now, if we take our own power of bracha, it's wild. Like b'ma koich, we can give a bracha. We're much more powerful than we think. Kach gazer HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Hashem said in the world, we have a power to give a bracha. We have the power to be mevarich. If Hashem says, whoever benches Avram, I will bless, das heißt that there's a koyach to bench Avram that's going on Goyim. But a Yid of Kushtel Zechvar, a Yid has the power to be mevarich, to give a bracha. So I wanted to share that with the Chevra, that there's a koyach of a yid to give a bracha. And I wanted to say, on behalf of the Chevra and the whole Chevra, I want to give a bracha for myself. I want to say that Menachem Yechiel, somebody who's come here, we appreciate him. My son Menachem has very good eyes, and saw Yechiel. He has very, very good eyes. And I see Yechiel, and I see him from my own eyes and through Menachem's eyes, both. So we see him double. Maybe Menachem sees him so well, because they're both Menachems. I didn't even know that when I thought he was just Yechiel. I didn't know the Menachem Yechiel. I was expecting Yechiel something. But they call him, okay. I want to give a bracha from myself, as a shliach to Menachem Yechiel. It should be a bench to Yar, it should be a gut to Yar. Shleima also, behalf of Shleima. It should be really a year of siyata, menuchas hanefesh. Very good, very good. You knew that. Very good, very good. It should be a year of menuchas hanefesh, tranquility, a year of aliyah, and ruch. There should be a gebench to Yar for Menachem Yechiel. Really a beautiful, beautiful year, a sweet year, a gebench to Yar, a beautiful year is what I want to wish Menachem. There's a Yerushalmi that Goyim don't have tshuva. So I have to leave him like 5 minutes. Thank you, Nachum. There's a Yerushalmi that Goyim don't have tshuva. We could speak about it by Arichus, the Kasha on the Yerushalmi, when it's open, that Goyim have tshuva. Ninveh, Hashem sent Yaina to give Musar to Ninveh. Yaina didn't want to go because he thought it'd be a chil Hashem. The Goyim will do tshuva, and the Yid is not going to do tshuva. It'll be a tremendous time if we didn't listen to the Nevi'im and they did. So what does it mean when the Yerushalmi says Goyim don't have tshuva? Much is written about this. The simplest pshat is we have madregas of tshuva. A guy has tshuva, he's not punished for his chatam. By Yidden have a tshuva, it's called tshuva me'ava, that averis become mitzvahs. That kipshuta is averis become mitzvahs. That Yidden have such a tshuva, that averis become mitzvahs. It's a big shaila. Before Reish Lakish was nifter, Rabbi Yochanan teased him that he was a robber. Rabbi Yochanan teased him. Rabbi Lakish was upset. It's a big shaila how Rabbi Yochanan teased Reish Lakish. It's an Issa Daraisa, by the way. It's I know Astvarim. You're not allowed to mention somebody's past. An Issa Daraisa. We have Chevra, we have beautiful B'nai Torah. They're learning Bab Mitzvah. It's a Mishnah in Bab Mitzvah. So you know Astvarim. You're not allowed to tell a guy, I remember when you did Kach V'Kach. Shleim, it's an Issa Daraisa. So why did Rabbi Yochanan make fun of Reish Lakish? Reish Lakish was upset about it. Rabbi Yochanan mentioned Reish Lakish's past. He said, you were once a robber. They were having a machlokes. Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish had a cool relationship. Reish Lakish Pashtus was what we call a Talmud Chaver of Rabbi Yochanan. He was a student. He was a friend. He also was his brother-in-law. He married Rabbi Yochanan's sister. So it was a beautiful friendship, Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish. And Rabbi Yochanan said a line that you know about this knives because you were once a bandit. And Reish Lakish was taka insulted, the Gemara Bamitzia says. So the question is, it begs the question, how did Rabbi Yochanan do that? I know, it's the very you're not allowed to mention somebody's past. I once saw it, and I want to make the claim. I've seen it, I've seen such a claim, but I like learning. I once wanted a claim, and I've seen others make this claim. Reish Lakish is the Baal member. I said and saw this word, and then on the plane to South Africa, I said over, because Tshuva Meyava, your Averis become mitzvahs. Reish Lakish is the Baal member. Reish Lakish says that when somebody does Tshuva Meyava, their Averis become mitzvahs. The Averis become mitzvahs when they do Tshuva Meyava. Says, so Rabbi Yochanan was allowed to say you were once abandoned. That was part of his sidkus, it's part of his good stuff. It wasn't, it's Tshuva Meyava. He was saying that your Tshuva is a shleimastik Tshuva.
They get insulted.
What do you say? It's a good question. So could be that always tzaddikim always feel that they come up short. So he felt, I don't know if I did Tshuva Meyava. Tzaddikim are always, so in his mind, don't say my past. Rabbi Yochanan held Tshuva Meyava. I'm saying it's a tzidkus. It's part of your... Now, yeah, that's what I want to tell you now. It has to be Tshuva Meyava. We don't have magic. What's this zach that averis pashut are counted as zchuyos? Tshuva Meyava is the person finds that deep place of loving Hashem. Tshuva meyava is not I'm afraid to be punished. It's the tshuva that Yidden are moved to today. Today people are drawn, it's an age of Ava, and it's an age people are drawn that they find, I'm just being what I want to be. I just want to be me. I just want to be me. I want to be me in a sincere, authentic, fun, geschmacka way. I want to be me. I'll make an observation for those psychologically bent. I'll tell you a very interesting observation. And I want to talk, Tshuva Meyav, I'll tell you an interesting observation. Menachem, you'll observe life and tell me if I'm right. Unfortunately, I've seen Shiva houses in my life. And we should only see after 120 years, longer yarn of goodness for all Yidden. But a person, after a long life, a person goes to Olam Haba. There's a world for a person goes after this world. I have seen Shiva houses, the most real ones, there's laughter there also. The most real, at the Levaya, at Eli Feinstein's Levaya, if he lost his only brother, him and his mother spoke, they both made jokes in their speech also. It was so real, the pain, they didn't have to pretend, it was like natural. When you're very natural, they could laugh, the next second they were bawling. It wasn't like a forced chill. So you could feel, you're like free to feel. When it's forced, it replaces the thing itself. The thing itself, in a Shiva house, that's very, my Rebbe's children were being misavel, there was like smiles, and then they would like tremendous sorrow. It wasn't forced. When it's forced, there can't be any smile, forced. Then there's no crying either. There's no sadness either. There's no sadness either. You have to be sad. Tshuva me'av is the person finds themselves natural, comfortable, healthy, authentic. The true version of ourselves. That's tshuva me'av. I'm not scared. I'm not trying to be something. I have found the deepest place inside of me that wants Hashem. It's tshuva me'av. When a person finds that space, everything and anything that led him to that space is part of his journey, is pasha to get schar for his averos. If that's what led him to go to that space, to enter that space, he's in that space, that authentic space. All parts of his journey get schuyos for. That's the tshuva me'ava, the ikr of tshuva, the essence of tshuva, the truth of tshuva. So we just want to be ourselves, healthy, comfortably ourselves, a beautiful version of ourselves. That's what we're striving. Not anything forced, not anything. Lo'isi karase Yaakov ki yagat to be Yisrael. We want tshuva me'ava, a version serving Hashem from a beautiful, healthy, happy place. Tshuva meyava, averis, become mitzvahs, all the things that led us to find that true place and to enter that true place. So then everything that brought to that place becomes part of the journey, a beautiful journey. So my bracha to us all. Remember, it's not about saying slichos, guys. It's not just about saying slichos, it's called Yimei Selichos. They're serious days. We have 4 Yimei Selichos, right? The last days of the year, there's like two things going on. If you look at Svarim, you'll find 2 things. First of all, a beautiful way to end the year. The Rebbeinu Shalom wants us. And the attitude, I don't like that. A person's never out. It's all shtuyot. There's always hope, and Hashem's always wants us and waits for us. Hashem always. I had a maisa that just happened. I drove 6 hours, over 6 hours. I have to leave. Okay, but I'll tell you a quick maisa. I drove probably about, close to 9 hours. I drove 4.5 hours in. It was during COVID. We were in Pennsylvania, and I wanted to see a bacher, and he couldn't see me. I drove to his house. I was with another guy in Yeshiva. We drove 4.5 hours, and he didn't want to see me. He was in a tough state. I said, I'm here. I drove in to see him. He said, I can't. I said, please, I just want to see you. I want to give you a hug and I'll go back. No, I can't. He didn't let me in. I drove 4.5 hours back. Then the next couple of years, I wanted to speak to the bacher. I wanted to speak to him. We're all human. Insulted, yes. All different feelings. You drive 9 hours. We drove back. There was nothing open. I couldn't even maybe I'll go to a Met game, go to a restaurant. There was nothing. I drove 4.5 hours. Drove back 4.5 hours. Back to the Fort Laud. Lemay said for a couple of years he didn't want to answer. He felt badly. He didn't answer. We spoke 2 weeks ago. Geschmack. We're getting together. We're good. And it's not a Maisa. I love the guy. We're friends. It's not a Maisa. It's not a story. We're friends. The relationship of Chaverim, of Yidden, the relationship of father and son, it's not a story. A tata loves his son. It's not a story. The son could do this. You tap in. Our fathers are normal. They can get upset. They could take things personally. But you could tap in. Ich bin a tata. You could tap in. He's a Yid. You could really appreciate somebody and tap into that space. Hashem wants us. He wants us. We were gone all year. We were gone. So there's one inyan of these Yimei Selichos that we say, Hashem, I'm here. The fact that I'm here. I got a little distracted different times. Halavai, Ashrei Yishalo Yishkacheka. Lucky is the person who stayed focused. Even I got distracted. It's towards the end of the year. I want to tell you, Hashem, Hakol Hoylech Acher Achitum. Everything goes after the end. I want to say, I want you, Hashem, and I know you want me, and I want to live comfortably with you. I want to live with you. I want to live a life aware of you. I just want to be a real guy who lives aware of you, and that's it. So that is the inyan of the end of the year. And then there's the inyan. Brown said I always speak about good beginnings. Win it early. I'm very into Chazal. The psukim say, Toiv achris davar meireshisa, which one teaches Toiv achris davar, the good that comes at the end, meireshisa, comes from the reshis. Beginnings are very important. I'm very into Zman. Bring it day one for Rebbeim. When you're building things, the first meeting of the year, the Rebbeim to me is like Kodesh Kodashim. You try to literally be in a pure, good space, a big thing. For starting something. Starts matter a lot. Get it off to a good start. The start of marriage, starts. So about the start of the year, let's start a Geshmak. Win it before it begins. Get off early. In any event you make, it's a good idea. In speaking, there's something called the power beginning. You win already. Don't start frail a speech. It's very hard to recover. Start your speech and get in there and go. Let's go. The first words of your speech, you shouldn't speak a few sentences. I wanted to say, you too many words and you said nothing yet. Say a pasuk, say something you care about. Say a guy in the crowd, iron smile. Just say something, get in there and you're in. Get in there. Your speech is once you're going, then you're in, you're good to go. It's called the power beginning. It's Yesh Dvarim began. It's a real zach. I've told the dorm council, I don't want the guy to go home sukkahs, and he's like Miyash. The guy came, it's important early. Now it's a long process, a long journey, but good, strong beginnings are huge. So I say to us all, it's also as we're preparing for the beginning of the year, we want to get off to a sincere, it's not a forced chill, don't force anything. But I observed about the Shiva homes that the ones that are the most sad and the most grieving, the ones that a smile could be, because it's not a forced chill. I think it's Eli Feinstein, Levaya, the speeches were wow, because they weren't forcing it. They laughed also. The cry was so real, it was overwhelming. So I say, don't force anything. Don't force anything. We all want to have the last couple of days of the year. The Rebbeinu Shalom wants us. So maybe I got a little distracted, not so distracted. Sometimes I'm here. I want to live with you, Hashem. So it's the end of the year. It's a good zach and a good lesson and an inyan is the last couple of days of the year. That's one inyan of Yimei Selichos. And then the achana to have a good beginning. Good beginnings matter a lot. Get in there. Get in there with a nice beginning, an erluch, a good Rosh Hashanah. The whole year is set up beautifully. This year you get Rosh Hashanah, then Shabbos. I'm begging Menachem Yechiel, maybe you'll come back. Just think of being able to get, we want a good beginning. And if we don't have Menachem Yechiel, he came before and we got to be Mevarich Menachem Yechiel. But all of us should be zeicher to a beautiful end of the year, unforced. Yimei Selichos to say Hashem. Ernst, sincere. I remember once. I remember a specific scene. We see this all the time. A guy who hadn't like davened. One day he showed up. He's been a beautiful Ben Torah since, but he showed up one day in the back wearing his tefillin. I remember feeling we were excited. Everybody was like, "Look, it was beautiful scene," and it was so pasha. That's only an echo of the Rebbeinu Shalom, like glowing. It's Dvarim Pshutim. He's home. Any parent knows this. Any parent. My son's home. I can't believe you. We've gone through a parent's Michael. Hashem is Michael more than he's Marbel Isleich. He just wants us. So the last few days of the year, we're mechazik. It's not, it could be looked at. Now you wake up? No cynicism. No, not at all. The other people, other relationship, there's cynicism. Now you come. That's not a tata to his son. The tata son's not cynical. It's not the way it is. I've had things with my own father. I've asked Mechila, my parents like laugh. I've asked my parents Mechila, they start laughing. My parents are very real people. I'm like the frummy kid. I call up, said, Abba, Mami, I want to ask Mechila. And they both start, I promise you, my parents have laughed. I did real things. I didn't call enough. I've done the real stuff. My parents laughed. They're real people. Like, Daniel, we love you. They're not laughing because I didn't make mistakes. They're not laughing because I wasn't neglectful. They're laughing like a chuckle. Daniel, I also, the kid comes so earnest, and he did terrible, like bad things. There's a gewiss laugh. I love you. I just come here. Like, I've seen people alienated from parents for a long time, and the kid comes in. I'm not saying you shouldn't ask Mechila. You should ask, and I'll ask my parents again, Be'ez Hashem. But parents, I'm just happy here. The Rebbeinu Shalom wants us. There's a bechina of these last Yimei Selichos. Get that in your bones. It's a good thing to know for the beginning of the year. It's a good thing to know for the beginning of the year. I wanted to talk about the Chazal. We spoke about Shav Yoim Echad Kadamais. I have a shtickle that's going to have to be tomorrow. I'm late to something I have to be on time to. So let's stop here. I thank the guys. I wish us all. I want to welcome Menachem's Tata. What's your full Hebrew name? Rev Hillel Noach, a Tata visiting his son. Hashkachas Hashem today. A Tata loves his son. A Tata visiting his son, not just any son. Menachem. Menachem's Tata. I feel the whole year we were happy to have Menachem and a beautiful person, and he's here this year. Stark even. He's more himself. Delicious and delightful. And I want to give a bracha. Give brachas. Take your brachas seriously. From one dude to another dude. Daniel, I'm Dan. You give brachas. We have power of brachas. Stop underestimating. Stop it. You have the power to be mevarach. Take your bracha seriously. We have the power of bracha. That's how Hashem made the world. You devalue your own brachas, you take away the value. So I want to be mevarach. You should have a lot of Yiddish asach, Yiddish anachas from your children. You should have enekluch, enekluch, just tremendous Yiddish anachas from your mishpacha la'ol meyad. I thank the guys. There'll be another minyan for Mincha shortly. Yes,